My name is Michelle Trotter, and I'm a Business Development Specialist at Eagle. Last week, we discussed the possibility of a second spike in the coronavirus, and experts are saying that second spike is most likely to happen in the fall and winter. Dr. David Hussong explains why, and also touches on the seasonality of other viral infections.
Concerning the seasonality of viruses in general and the COVID-19 in particular, currently the virus is in the community and it spreads when a person who is shedding the virus is in contact with a susceptible person. What can happen is the number of susceptible people will decline as a portion, and the appearance of new cases will seem to diminish. If the virus emerges in a new part of the community, you may see it spike until patients are healed or hospitalized, or perhaps the number of susceptibles decreases because immune people are more common. The virus will always be in the community. So the importance is to have a number of susceptible people either kept away from the infectious population or have them become immune, such as with a vaccine. What typically happens, however, is we see a change in the number of new reported cases. And this can happen when, for example, the weather causes people to not get together in close groups. And sometimes it can happen because in, for example, sunlight, the ultraviolet energy is very damaging to viral particles, cause them to have a much shorter life. You call that a life. Viruses are not really living things. But what we have is two factors to control the spread of an infection. It's dispersion of the susceptible parties, and it's also dispersion of the virus until it's not enough to cause an infection. In the summertime, we often see a decline, but there's always some cases that seem to be popping up. And again, that's because the virus is in the community. Eventually, enough people in the community will be immune and protected. There will be so many people who are resistant that the spread seems to go away. In the case of the COVID-19 situation, you're going to see an emergence when people start coming out of the quarantine mode. More people will come out, be susceptible and exposed, and that will create a rise. The severity of that depends on how much control is placed on sanitation and just general personal interaction. So social distancing may be something that hangs around for quite a while. In the fall, we may see another rise, and if we don't have a second spike before then, this will be caused by primarily people getting back inside when cooler weather starts to come. Also, certain social activities like returning to school brings people to closer proximity, and that really causes the number of susceptibles to increase. Also, during the time when the virus is at a lower concentration of infectious particles, let's say due to exposure to ultraviolet outside, the likelihood is that the viruses that are in circulation will undergo an adjustment called an adaptation or mutation, and they will emerge as particles that are infectious because they have different receptors, and our protective antibodies don't recognize these. That could be a spike. Whether it's worse or less than the previous spike are a question. We did see 2 waves of influenza move through in December and January this year. It started with influenza B in early December. And influenza A came through in late December, early January. The result was the 2 of them compounded to create a very large demand on our health system. Several weeks later, we had a COVID-19 spike occur, and that added to the demand on our health system. These things can compound the problems for the healthcare system and be quite a problem for the community in general. Fundamentally, we have to practice basic hygiene, wash your hands, keep your hands away from your face. General housekeeping is important too. We can control and minimize the next wave of COVID-19 as we can also influenza.
For the past few months, Dr. David Hussong has been talking about important topics like the coronavirus. If you'd like to watch any of the earlier episodes, you can find them on our YouTube channel. To make sure that you never miss when a new episode is published, subscribe to our channel and you'll get a notification when a new video is uploaded. If you have any questions or topics that you would like our scientists to discuss, make sure you fill out our fact check form on our website.